Hello, good evening. Just getting into my Stream Manager. Mobile broadcasting and Stream Manager has moved to creator mode. Okay, my Twitch app has changed. Of course it has. Where's my chat? How do I get in there? There we go. It's in Stream Manager now. Oh, probably should have explored the Twitch app on my phone before I'd started streaming. Never mind. Let us crack on. 19% completed. Oh, okay. Well, let's crack on. We're playing Death's Door again. It's Late Night Gav. It's the game where we play as a crow. I wanted to say a raven then, but that was incorrect. We were going to kill, I believe her name was Grandma. Hi, K-Dog. I've done the same thing I did last week. Good. Let's not do that again. I feel like at some point there's going to be... Evening! SD says, hope you're doing alright. I can't say I've had the best of days. But, you know. We're here, we're continuing on, we can do nothing else. Okay, so we're going there then. Right, that's fine. So many different ways to go here. It's like a maze. That's alright, SD, you know, it's one of those things. It's work being stressful and you can't really do much about that. You know, it is what it is. Yeah. I am attempting to find... Let's go this way. A little bit of solace in the fact that I don't actually have that much longer to go. A couple of days, and then I've got a day off. It's all fun. Ooh, now then, which way do we go? Up or this way? I just thought there was anything to do that way, except hit some boxes. Get a seed for our troubles. Definitely something to look forward to. Also, get to watch Man United play Leicester on Thursday, and you know, hey, there's Grandma. We're actually playing pretty decent. I want you, Crow. So I have a feeling I have to do that. Midweek games. Jurgen Klopp isn't happy about most things. Jurgen Klopp is adamant that that Liverpool should have beaten Man United last week, and I'm not entirely sure he's speaking from the realms of truth there. And I'm not saying that as a Man United fan. I'm saying that in the sense of you know, even talking as a neutral, I just cannot see where he's making that decision from. It does, you know, where he's got his information about that, because he's just nowhere near right. Look, there's some blobby things. Awesome. Don't get hit by them. Look, when we said don't get hit by the blobby things, it generally means don't do it again. boy. I need some health, which means I need to find somewhere where I can put a flower down. That's not going to happen, because instead we are going to die. I can set him on fire. I tried to hit that back to him. That didn't really work, did it? Never mind. Anyway, to everybody... Oh, good, I get to get into that box there. To everybody that is currently tuned in, I believe that is just SD and K-Dog at present. Hope you're all doing alright. Having a good start to the week so far. We are the Chosen 2. Yep. There'll be more at some point. Jamie might pop in, tends to on Tuesdays, although I can't actually remember if he said he was busy this week. I don't know. We'll probably have Last Minute Continue pop in for a raid as well, and then everybody who's tuned in won't stay tuned in. So we're used to the patterns that happen on Tuesday nights. Quite regular occurrences. Right, I'm going to see if I can. Can I? Can't get that back. Okay. Dear, I'm in trouble. Especially doing that. There's a whole late night Gav routine. There is, and I'm still in two minds about whether or not there will continue to be a late night Gav routine at all. I haven't decided yet. Because for those who probably just tune into the Twitch streams and don't really know what else I do outside of Twitch, is I host a radio show on Saturday nights called Saturday Night Sega. I'm telling this currently to the two people that are tuned in who know this already, but for anybody who watches after it's live. So I do Saturday Night Sega on Radio Sega on Saturday nights. Losing the name there, really. And on Tuesday nights we used to do a show called SD asks if I have a radio show. Yeah, I do. Shockingly, it's not new. It's 12 years old? You were doing that for 12 years? Oh, no. Right. Anyway, so on Tuesdays I used to do a show called Glitch, which was, you know, it was fun, and then we had this crazy idea. We had this crazy idea to do a stream. Late Night Gav, which, you know, so I thought, well, what we'll do is we'll split the Tuesday nights in half. We'll do half of the year doing Glitch, and half of the year on Twitch. Only I kind of really enjoy doing this now, and not that I didn't enjoy doing Glitch. I don't want to sound like I didn't enjoy doing that. I did. It's just my sort of point of view here is this is a lot easier to do. I don't need to set a computer up. I don't need to really think too much into show themes for the show or anything like that. I can just, you know, have fun playing games with you guys. So I'm kind of a bit stuck in the sense of I don't really know what to do as to whether I do. Whether I stop streaming on Twitch to bring Glitch back for a season 4, or whether I do this. I did mention this on last Saturday's radio show, actually. I can't figure it out. I don't know what I want to do. My gut instinct, if I'm being honest, is to continue streaming on Twitch. Yeah, you run away. It's a big clever now, are you? I should say that. Running away from me. Yeah, he's... Oh, God, I almost ran into that. How dare you? How very dare you? So I don't know. In terms of the Tuesday night streams for Late Night Gav, we're going to finish Death's Door. We will, because I bought it with sort of birthday money with the intention to stream it. So we'll do Death's Door. We will do Among the Sleep. And then that gives me a little bit of time to figure out what I want to do after that. As to, in the sense of, do we continue doing the Twitch, or do we bring Glitch back for season 4? Because I don't even know if I've got enough show themes to do a... I wondered correctly. That's going to take a minute. Yeah, I don't even know if I've got a full sort of 26 episode season for Glitch, to be fair. So I don't know. We've at least got 2 more games that we will play before we get a bit stuck with it. I don't think so. That is a giant blob monster. It does give me lots of, I want to say souls, but I can't remember if that's what they're called. No, he doesn't. That's just rude. To only give me 4? It's very harsh. SD says it sounds like a plan. I think so. I think it sounds like a plan as well. So we'll play through 2 more games. And we'll figure it out after that point. It is one of those though where if I do take the decision to continue streaming on Tuesdays, then that does mean the Glitch will be cancelled. Got caught. Guys don't corner me, I should be able to kill them pretty easily. danger here. Especially now. No. 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 Boy. Ah, he hit me. I was just about to hit it back. Oi. Can't say that was an exciting moment that I'm really looking forward to reliving. I mean, you know, I said I'm looking forward to reliving it. We're managing. No, don't. Why is it that these guys are literally only giving me 1 or 2 souls per kill? Should I go down there and kill those guys? Oh well. I thought if I could probably kill all of the blob monsters from a distance. With using the explodey man, but not quite. Oh! He still winds his bow up even though you're attacking him. I thought it would stop the attack animation. Oh, boy. Oh, here we go again. Why is he just attacking nothing? That didn't seem to make much sense. Whee! Try and do a bit better this time around. Not getting hit so many times by the that guy who's got like the, I don't know, the poison gas bazooka thing. I don't actually remember how many souls I got from killing him. Was it only 1? 10! Hey, that's not bad actually. He's worth killing for 10 souls. Right. We got through that room. Right, one of these fellas. They look weird googly eyed. It was a little bit late starting the stream this evening, just in case you're curious, because I was watching a film called Geostorm, which is not very good. It's it's sort of like The Day After Tomorrow, only it's 13 years newer than that, or younger than that film, and it is terrible. Like, seriously, seriously bad. And I really would not recommend to anybody that you watch it. Unless you genuinely enjoy watching awful films, in which case, you probably get some enjoyment out of it. But me? Oh, boring. Wish I hadn't bothered. Right, so you can interrupt my attack pattern, but I can't stop yours. Doesn't seem fair. One to avoid, says SD. Absolutely one to avoid. It's not good. We are here. Oh. That actually wasn't that difficult. I thought that'd be really hard. Oh dear. This is where it becomes really hard. Those. Make sure they don't attack me. Quite a bit of progress to come back and make if I get hit once more here. If I come back this way, is there a pot? Is there a pot that I can plant the seed in? Of course there isn't, because that would be irresponsible, wouldn't it? This is a very, very long boss dungeon. But look, we've made some more progress now. Hey, there's a pot. Stick the plant in there. Sugar flower. We're back to full health. Hooray! To level up some abilities as well. We'll have to check that. Once we finish this dungeon, we'll go have a look, see what joys are awaiting us. I am not a fan of these giants. Although I actually think if I know where the red lines are, where the red attack points are, I wonder if you can actually just avoid it just by being stood next to him. Not something I can say I'm overly enamoured to try out. No, I actually did stand in the way there. I didn't dodge out of the way in time. Yeah, it looks like if you know where the lines, where the actual red poles are, I don't know what they are. But yeah, it does look like if you're, you know, stood in between them, they will not hurt you. not make my life hell later on down the line. Oh, are we in a boss room? This certainly looks like a boss room. Let's activate that door. And actually, I'm going to go through that door. Because I think if we're going into a boss room, I think we should level some bits up. What have you got to Soul Vault? Let's see, what can you give me? I don't have enough for anything, because it's 400, not 300. Awesome. Fantastic. Right. Let's go back into the laboratory then and kill the Urn Witch. Maybe she'll give me enough souls to, you know, win a thing. I don't know. Is she going to be that difficult to defeat? Yeah. That's one of my favourite phrases for a grandma to say, actually, that there. You little shit. Sorry, having a drink there. Don't actually know if the Xbox microphone picked it up, but if it did, apologies. My grandma used to say that to me a lot. Is she going to stay as a kindly little grandma there, or is she going to? The Witch of Urns, grandma. Oh, I see. Yeah, of course. Explosive Urns. Why not? I mean, that's weird. Oh good, the game's turned into a bullet hell. Why not? You know, because when you think about it, what's the worst thing that could happen? Stomp you. Oh, you ballsack. I don't like you very much, Grandma. You are not a kind lady. Ah! Oh. My grandma used to shoot lots of bullets at me too. What, in Dudley? Really? Well, the things we know. She just called me a little shit again. Nope, there she is. She's just going to turn up. You know what? I don't think I'm going to try and attack her while she's firing the purple bullets of whatever the hell they are at me. I mean, they're very colourful, but I can't say I'm enamoured to try and hit her while she's doing it. Oh, she hit me. Rude. No, Gav, you just said you weren't going to try and hit her. Why would you then try and hit her? Oh, follow your own advice, you moron. Good. I hit you with your own ghost pin. Oh, no! Ah! Rolled off the edge and then proceeded to just run back off the edge trying to dodge the while we were at it. Yeah, in the realms of well done, Gav, you're an idiot. That's definitely going to be up there in well done, you're an idiot. Stamping on me now. Oh. Sort of smidge too close there, wasn't I? Whoa. Now then, have I got a... Oh! No, no! Oh, you... It's your reward if you defeat her at Werther's original. I'm going to want a bit more than one. A bit more than one Werther's original. I need a whole bloody bag. Does anyone actually genuinely like Werther's original? No, there's a question. I can't say I'm a fan. I mean, certain flavours I like. But, yeah. This is the sort of content people subscribe to me for. Well, nobody subscribes to me, but you know, this is the sort of content that people want. Watch me play video games, and let's talk about British. I say British actually. Where are the British not British? Are they German? I want to say German. Oh, I didn't move quickly enough. No, you are not hitting me again. time I've been dodging them. I could have just hit her with them. Well, she's dead. I can confirm they are German. Yeah, there we go then. Whoever's originals, made in Germany. We've taken Grandma's soul. Do I get a reward for that? Probably not. Here's Stedhone, yep. The Witch of Urns, the Ceramic Sorceress, Earthenware Enchantress, Crockery Crone, and of course, Grandma! I never liked Grandma. I'm not going to bow my head in remembrance. I'm going to crack her pot open. No, I'm not. Can't do it. Oh, Pothead still has a pot. Fine. Cool. Put somewhere different. Okay, well, let's progress then, I suppose. Go this way, past the flaming head people. Oh look, he's got a the Lord of Doors, world's best lord. Well, isn't that? Still have those beaks. Yep. Give me a weapon. I'll have an axe if you want to give me one. Oh. Strange fellow. The Lord of Doors with a keyhole for a face. Get back out there and find your assigned soul. No, I refuse. Go in this though. Just takes me up here. Okay. Well, this takes me to doors that I can already get to. There's no need to take the elevator. Ray! I've got enough. Right, let's see. Faster dodges, less cooldown time, greater base speed. Yes, I want to be able to run faster. And we can roll somewhat quicker too. Yay! It is definitely a quiet one in the old Twitch chat. Is there anything special happening today? 30th of August, day after the bank holiday? Am I missing something? I don't know, probably. Right, Lost Cemetery, that's not where we want to be. We want to be in the Grove of Spirits, because I imagine we need to go talk to Sir Big Crow Man, whose door is through here. Or is it? No, I've gone the wrong way. The Lost Cemetery was where I wanted to be. Don't believe so, says ST. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's all good, you know. I don't do this for the numbers, I do this for the fun, and the fun is what I have. Can I kill you now? No. This way. No, I don't want to go to the Ernwitch's mansion. I want to go to the summit. It's probably going to be this way, actually. Yeah, here we are. Talk to you. Here, I've got a giant soul. Head east, beyond the woods. Okay. Now the issue I've got is, which way is east in this game? Is it the direction that I am currently going here? I mean, it can't be, right? Oh, I don't know. What does this say? Overgrown ruins. Is it this way? We'll soon find out, because it'll look familiar, and I'll look at it and I'll be like, that doesn't look right. But none of this looks right to me, so who knows? This is not the right way. Cool. So I've been opening levers and stuff to make more progress, so we will carry on. And we will find the different way to go. Maybe it's that way. Why can't I have more health? Why do I have to stick with just 4 pieces of health bar? It's not fair. Not fair! Right. Is there a sign? That tells me if I'm going the right way here. flooded cathedral place is where I want to go. That way to the summit. I don't want to go to the summit though. What does this say? Stranded sailor. There you go. That's where I want to go. Take me this way. It's going to open the path up if I go down here. Oh no, look, there's some blocks that I can't defeat yet because I don't have anything explosive. Yeah, before we started streaming this last week, I actually remembered that since playing it on the 1897 challenge, I haven't actually played any of Tunic. So there was that as a potential game to play as well, to finish that off. But that game was also really, really frustrating. So, but it was a good game, you know, very, very pretty. It will get finished at some point. Can't do anything that way. I'm going to assume my crow can't swim, so I'm not going to try and get in the water. I think it's a fair guess to make. Oh look, Pothead's over here as well. What have I picked up here? You found an adventure journal. Cool. I'm guessing that's one of the game's shiny things, which are like collectibles that I have to collect. Generally the done thing with collectibles, isn't it, to collect them? There's a door. Beautiful Betty. Was she a black Betty? Whoa, Black Betty. Bam balam. I got an achievement for doing that. Squid Soup it was called. Hasn't pinged on the Xbox, but it did ping on the on my phone. The only achievement I think I've got from this game. Did I not get anything? I seriously did not get anything for killing the grandma. What? Like, I've just killed one of the major bosses in the game, and you're not giving me an achievement for that. That's weird. Well, can't go that way. Interesting. Have I come the wrong way? I mean, it did tell me to come east. I also can't say I was massively paying attention to what I was supposed to be doing. Game is being tight for gamer score. Sonic Origins gives you gamer score for starting a game. Yeah, there is that. It gives you it for finishing it as well. Although apparently the achievement list for the brand newly launched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection is literally achievements for finishing every game. I do want that game. I'd like to own it, but I don't know on what console. Right. I'm not convinced I went the right way here. I'm going to go talk to Big Crow again and see if I can actually pay attention to where he told me I was going. As I say, I don't think that was right where he sent me. We shall ask him again. East beyond the woods. Ah, you see? No, I was going the right way. I was going the right way when I went this way. Right, I've got to find another way around the wooded bit then. That way. Oh, hang on. Okay. Don't worry lads, I figured it out. I wasn't really paying attention when I went down there the first time. Is he climbing all the way up? Oh no, he's staying there, look. That's nice of him. Let's go! Beyond the woods. There. Is that what opens the door? Yes. Crows can't swim, so I'm not going that way. Overgrown ruins east of the door. This is going to be where I earn my explosives, isn't it? Look at all of the explosive walls that I can shoot down. Yeah. Nice. Vines just whip me up. Yeah, it's like, yeah, why not? Thank you. Definitely a game you could explore as well. Kill that then. I set it on fire. No. Oh. Deaded. So, just for a conversational topic whilst we're playing this game, I got a little bit, not upset. Saddened, probably not upset. Saddened, because, hello. Strange forest thing. There's a band that I quite like that some of you guys may well have heard of called the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. They have done a few sort of non-festive albums, but they are most well known for a trilogy of Christmas albums, which are very, very good. And if you've not listened to them, I mean, it's not the right time of year to listen to them now, but if you haven't heard them before, they are well worth listening to. I have heard of them, says Vesnesty. Yes. So anyway, they have as they tend to do every year, they've announced a tour, but they're only touring America. They literally do not go worldwide. Oh, I see. That's what you're there for. Kill, you are there. September is basically Christmas. It's not September yet. We've got a couple of days. Yeah, they did actually do a few dates in the UK a few years ago. I can't remember exactly when, but I never got a chance to go see them, and I think that is like the last time they've toured the UK. And every year they're like, we're on tour again, and I'm like, oh, is this year the year? And this year is not the year. I think the reason why I didn't go, I'd got it sort of stuck in my head, because they were touring the UK in like January, and it was one of those. It was like, who would want to go listen to Christmas music in January? Ridiculous idea. So I was like, no, I'm not going. And yeah, since then they haven't toured, so it's like, oh. So you know when it's like, should have done it. So feels like you've missed your moment. But you know, maybe 1 year. Maybe 1 year they'll come back, and if they do, and I went all the way around when I didn't need to. What an idiot. I literally had opened that doorway. Never mind. I know for next time. So I didn't actually pay attention. That's a key. Yep, I'll have that. Fingers crossed. I mean, if not, I've just got to go to America when they tour in the US, don't I, clearly? But yeah, the point still stands. You know, I know we're talking about it at the end of August, but they are definitely. There's a trilogy of Christmas albums, all of them very much worth listening to. I don't think I could tell you which one is my favourite. But yes. What's going on there? Right, can I shoot that back? Shoot it back. Yeah, set yourself on fire. He did not set himself on fire. A very expensive option. Well, I mean, if I'm already in America, that's one way of looking at it, isn't it? How many bonus points did your fantasy team get? I only had one player who played in my fantasy team this week, thanks to the Premier League notification that's getting me talking about that. And they only scored 1 point. So I'm going to go with I didn't get any bonus points. Oh no! Just rolled straight off the edge. But most of my team play tomorrow, so, you know, that's a bonus. I am currently 3rd in my league. I'm quite impressed by that. I probably won't be once the points have been allocated from tonight's games, because, like I say, I only had one player who played and he only scored 1 point. Good old fantasy football or fantasy soccer, if you want to be American about it. I wonder, can I roll across? Actually, I don't think I can roll that. That's going to be a bit. He made himself smaller. Just throw that back at me. No. Well, if he did, that's extremely rude. And I don't like it. Frog King. Nice. You the Frog King. Forest Mother. She needs a horn. Of course she does. Why not? I know that's a wall. Can't. I don't really. Oh well. I don't know. I was going to say I don't really understand why it's let me do that, but I don't understand a lot of things. Right. Let's see. So we need to go to the north. This, I'm guessing, is going to be. Oh no. Pick up a seed. Well, I'm glad I've opened that gate. What difference it actually makes, I have no idea. See, how am I going to open that? his name? Oh, just Forest Child. Right, so I've got to go to the camp to the north. Pray at shrine. Yes. Do you give me more health? He's not giving me more health. That is rude of him. I didn't even know that was there, to be fair. Well, I was going to say, do I need to go that way? But actually, I don't know how I'm going to get that way. I am what people would call in video game parlance very fucking lost. Maybe I don't go that way then. Maybe I do go this way. This way to the forest settlement. Well, you've given me a ladder down there. That doesn't do that. Right, okay. Takes me back to here again. Right. Riddle me a little bit confused. Let's go back to the forest settlement. Let's try and logic a bit of this out and see if we can't figure out where we're supposed to go. It says north, so I imagine that means up. One of my major bugbears with isometric games actually is it doesn't really give you a sense of direction. Oh, he didn't deflect it back. He just decided to hit us with fire. That's nice of him. Oh look, I can go around this way a little bit. Come on then, hit me. Or attempt to hit me, even. I mean, how did I not see that this was a place I could go? Can't go there because the door's shut. Certainly in the realms of well done, Gav, how could you not pay attention to what you were doing? How do flowers walk through doors? Like, that's the question. Hooray! I did the defeat. Did I get anything for it? Nope. Because why would I? What sense would that make? Souls. No reward for Gav. I know. This is where someone comes out and goes, but Gav, playing the game is its own reward. And I'm like, yeah. Is it though? I mean, it is. I'm enjoying this. It will be nice when I have my own explosive weapon. Whenever that will be. Then I do not have to hit flowers. See, I'm just opening up avenues here to come back to where, from whence we are making progress, etc., etc., etc. I'm trying to avoid going in this middle bit because I think something's going to happen when I go in the middle bit. It just really does seem to me like, you know, that's where stuff's going to happen. Well, let's spring the trap. Oh. Nothing happened there. That is a surprise. There we are, hit the guy with his own. His own weapon there. I have to wonder sometimes, like, where is the actual progression? Like, where's the path for progression? But we're going the right way, because, you know, still got to swim. That I know of. Super important I've got it, you know, because, well, you never know when you might need it. Come across a pot that you can plant a seed in and then refill your health. But if you haven't got a seed to refill your health with, you know, you've got to think about these things. died! Oh, opportunity for a drink. As I said, I don't know if you heard me last time around. I'm just going to mute the microphone just in case. There we go. And back again. I'm going to go to the Soul person, Soul Reaper, whatever you want to call him. Because, you know, we've got plenty of souls. We can... the Vault Keeper, that's his name. Do we? We have to unlock everything at some point, I'm sure. Right. Didn't Soul Reaper used to work on the Radio Sega? Sound Reaper. There used to be a Sound Reaper on the Radio Sega playlist. Soul Reaper is a very good PC, PlayStation, and Dreamcast third-person platformer. A very good game. Never heard of Soul Reaper. Is a pretty cool name for a game. Never heard of Soul Reaper. The Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaper. There was a sequel that came out on the... there was a sequel that came out on PS2, which I own. But I haven't actually played yet, because I wanted to go through a playthrough of the first game again. I don't know anything, says SD. Well, Legacy of Kain. It's funny this actually, because Legacy of Kain is a game I haven't played a lot of. So you had Legacy of Kain Blood Omen, which is the. This is where it gets confusing, right? So you have got Legacy of Kain Blood Omen, which is the first game. Then you have Legacy of Kain Soul Reaper, which follows on from Blood Omen. Then you've got... I can go this way, can't I? Then you get Legacy of Kain Blood Omen 2, which I've heard is awful. Yeah, I can go this way. And then Soul Reaper 2. And then after that, then there was a game which had both Raziel and Kain, which was called Legacy of Kain Defiance. And that's one of the only ones I haven't played, actually. But, yeah. It's a game series called Legacy of Kain, where none of the actual games have been called Legacy of Kain. That's just been like the header, sort of like, you know, the Dark Pictures anthology, which I really do want to play. Some of those are on the PlayStation Plus catalogue, and I am very much looking forward to giving them a go because they just look so good. But yeah, sort of pretty similar to those in the sense of they don't, or they have a name. know, that the overarching series has a name, but none of the games themselves are actually called that. Killed you with a flower. Oh, well, go on then. Seeing as this is asking about my fantasy team, how many points did it earn? Well, in news that shocks nobody, it didn't. I'm still third though. 12 points ahead of 4th place on my fantasy team. I will take that as a win. Can't necessarily take it as anything else. Right, so... bad early doors. Yeah, I'm on, so obviously this is game week 5. I'm on 244 points. No, it is quite an impressive total. I think last year I finished on like 1,700 or something. So, you know, I'm proper bossing it. Just if it stays that way. I think every week I've got at least 50 points here. So, we'll see come the end of the season whether it stays as impressive. It's all fun though. Don't win a prize for it if I do end up finishing really well. You know, like I say, no reward for me. How many teams are in the league? Well, it's a work league. There's only about 6 or 7 of us, so there's not that many. It's yeah, just a bit of fun. Run by our store director. He won it last year, which we're all a bit disappointed by. But he is currently 5th. Not in any danger of winning it so far. But like we say, early doors. There's 38 games in a season. Not going to win it this early. Probably get, you know, be enough points behind that you would lose it. There was a flower that I'd potted somewhere, wasn't there? Yeah, here we are. Right, let's actually do better with these guys this time round. Smashed it, and we've got a ladder. Again, kind of feel like that's the way I'm supposed to be going, so let's go somewhere different. Can't go somewhere different. go somewhere different. We'll go this way then. There has to be an item that I'm going to unlock that will help me to, you know, blow things up. There must be, because otherwise, how? Oh, there we go. How are we going to do it when there's no plants around to do it? You got the horn. Mother will be pleased. Well, as long as she's more pleased in me than Grandma is, you know. Now then, how am I going to get that? Oh, hang on. That's how I'm gonna get that. Yes. There's an orb. Let's get back to the camp. If I can remember where it is, it's not that way. Ooh, no. How dare you? While we're here, I'm just going to get a tiny bit real for a second. So, not cancelling next Tuesday's stream. However, we might change the game for a one-off. There is a reason for this. And the reason mainly being... Actually, let's give this Earth Mother, Forest Mother, whatever her name is, let's give her a horn back. She's playing an actual song. I was kind of hoping, you know, I didn't know if it would be a silly one, because they all look kind of silly. They look like Ewoks, but made out of grass. Is this where we're going to gain the item where we could potentially blow things up? Are we going to earn a bomb or something? So thank you, friend. Let's be on our merry way. So yeah, so next week. I still want to do a Tuesday night stream. However, it's... Oh, how do we word this? So next Tuesday is going to be Mum's anniversary, and if you know basically the ins and outs of that, then you know the ins and outs of that. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, in Mushroom Dungeon, there's a door. Let's pop out because we can spend some souls. I'm not entirely sure playing a game called Death's Door. It's a bit on the nose. So, I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is it's going to be one. We'll see how we feel. You know, if I feel all right about stuff, then can we melee attack quicker? That might be a good idea. But yeah, no. If everything sort of feels okay and I feel all right, then we'll continue playing. But as SD mentions, probably a good week for something a little bit lighter. So yeah, I'd as I say, probably playing. You know, we might pick Death's Door up in a couple of weeks, and next week we play something a smidge lighter, like Agony. No, God no, not Agony. That game was painful. I will never play that game again for as long as I live. That's a frog. I'm going to hit him in the face. There. Hunger for souls, said the door. So yeah, I don't know what we'll play. We're on the Xbox, aren't we? So maybe we play something on the Xbox a tiny bit lighter. I'm not sure. Haven't really thought about it. It's just, well, I thought about it in the sense of, it occurred to me just as I was setting this stream up in a bit of an oh yeah moment. Right, so I can set fire to that. It doesn't do anything. And now I've run out of power. Is there another door that I can go through? Yeah, there's this one. Let's go through this one then. So, yeah. Let's go this way. Seems we've gone to the effort to get that wall broken down. It's a set of 2. Open the shortcut. We'll find, like I say, we'll find something light-hearted to play next week. Mum wasn't much of a gamer, to be fair, which is a little bit unfortunate, because otherwise we could have played something like in memory. I might. Because I haven't actually played it an awful lot since we last streamed it on Late Night Gav. We could just come back to Sonic Origins. What do we think? Should we do that? Should we, you know, stick Sonic Origins back on for a couple of hours? Something, like I say, a bit more light-hearted before we jump back into Death's Door the following week. It's all there. Sounds like a plan, says SD. Good. Oops. Glad you agree. Glad you approve. We'll do that then. So next, just so I don't have to think about it, we'll knock Death's Door on the head for a week because it's not going to be insensitive to me, but I just think it is a bit on the nose for what we are, you know, for what day it is. Can't go wrong with a little bit of 2D Sonic. Yeah, especially as it wasn't something that Mum played, because, you know, I never had a Mega Drive, but certainly, you know, love of gaming probably started from a decision that she made along with Dad. So we'll go with that. So next week we'll go back to Sonic Origins. And we'll play a bit of 2D Sonic goodness. Whether we pick up. Oh well, I say since I last streamed it, I've not played a little bit. I've played a tiny bit of CD. So you know, whether we pick it back up with where's that frog again? Yeah, you run away. Yeah, we'll find one of the games to play. Whether we you know, continue on with Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is what we started on originally, or what game I started the last time Origins, or we could go back to CD. Actually, I think if we do Sonic CD, that might be quite a nice one to play, because it's not a game I'm particularly good at. So that could be fun. You know, let's get good at a little bit of Sonic CD. Oh, there's still a... I swear I'm not getting hit by a straight, you know, it's not happening. There we are. We did a win. Right. A lot of doors malfunctioning, he says. Thank you, SD. Your support, as always, is welcomed. That's the word I wanted to put there. It just got stuck in the back of my throat. I couldn't really think of the word I wanted. You know what? I really could do with a new weapon. That's opened up another gateway, which was a good supermarket, you know, back when it existed in the United Kingdom. There's one there as well. Oh, I've not made it in time. Tuesday nights are always a good time, whether it's on the radio for Glitch or on the Twitches with Late Night Gav. Late Night Gav. Showing your age there. Oh, a gateway? Yeah. Back before Summerfield and all of that. Yep. I say I'm showing my age, you know. Only if you actually know what Gateway was. Oh, the other one's turned off. Oh. Wow, that is... Oh, jeez. Maybe I need to do the bottom one first, and then come back for the other two. I'm not sure. Oh, I've got a key. Let's open this. And there's our frog friend again. Whether you remember Gateway the supermarket or Gateway the computer maker, you're still old. Ah, now you see, yeah, Gateway the computer maker, that is probably a smidge before my time. In all fairness. That isn't something I remember. Dead. Death. Yep. Although, now you say that, I don't know why, it really is starting to ring a bell, Gateway making computers. Like, not the supermarket making computers, you know, I know they don't do that. Or they didn't, because they don't exist anymore. But, yeah, that is really... There is something about that. Hey, there we go. Key. Guessing I would have needed it. The local big shopping centre has at differing times had a Galaxy supermarket and had a Gateway supermarket. How did I read that as Galaxy? Gateway PCs were later than Gateway the supermarket. I've no idea. Do you remember? Because this was probably more of a Midlands thing, so it might not be something that that any other viewers, whether when I say live, I think the only two live viewers are K-Dog, who hasn't said anything for a while. Hope you're enjoying watching as a lurker. Do you remember Food Giant? So I think that was definitely a very specific. I drowned. A very specific brand of supermarket. It was like a it was almost like a warehouse. We had one, then it got rebranded into a quick save before they ended up demolishing the whole entire building anyway to build a car park for residential purposes. Classic quick save was ace though. Yeah, when it sort of got rebranded, when the brand got bought out and it was basically like a family shopper. You know, not as nice. Didn't really have the same appeal to it. Oh, do you know what? I do not like these guys. I really don't. And there's 3 of them. How? How am I going to kill these with only 1 bit of health? Oh, there we go. He died. Don't know how I managed to get him to fall in the water, but I did. No! Oh! I fell in the water myself. Oh. Deary me. Deary, deary, deary me. Say it one more time. Because it might bring me luck, although I doubt it. Deary me. And we were doing relatively okay on that run. But hey, you know, I don't lose my souls for it. I mean, how many do I have? 380. Not enough to do anything with them. But enough. Have to be the last wave. Like, you think about it. You know, 3 bad guys like this. And I haven't got any. There we go, one's died. How am I going to get the other one to go in? Come on. Oh, why did I do that? I saw him swinging around and I was just like, no, do you know what? Let's just walk straight into the swing. Let's just walk straight into the swing. Oh, run! Let's do this for a third, well, not third time, it's multiple times than that. Definitely not learning to dodge out of the way of those hammer swings though, they are painful. Oh, straight into the water. Why would you do that? I wonder, is there any football news about football transfers? Stuff that I can read when we finish the stream. Awesome. I will have a read through of that. It has been a bit of a quiet one in Twitch this evening, and I'm not entirely sure why that is. Maybe the game's not appealing to people, maybe I'm not appealing to people or whatever. I don't mind, but for those that, you know, obviously for Resident SD and for whoever else is currently tuned in, as I say, I assume it's K-Dog, but he's normally a little bit more chattier than he has been this week. But anyway, for those of you who have stuck around for this stream, I you know, do hope you've enjoyed yourselves. I've tried to be engaging, I suppose. It's generally easier for me. Well, lurking while preparing for holidays. SD says sorry. It's not your fault, SD. You've actually, you know, you've been around. That's cool. K-Dog's been lurking while preparing for holiday. That is awesome. You see, we could have spoken about that. We could have had a nice old chat on the holiday. Where are you going? I've got 5 minutes before my stream ends. I'm curious now. Anywhere fun? Is it a different country, different state? Just a staycation? Are you staying where you are but going somewhere different? These are the sorts of conversations. Yeah. But no, SD apologising, that's ridiculous. You don't need to apologise, dude. That's absolutely fine. I'm just saying, you know, I thrive on interaction. When I'm doing radio shows on Radio Sega, I generally think the episodes where I don't do very well, ones where I don't think I've got many people tuning in. So no, definitely. You know, I benefit from having people to talk to. So it was more me. I didn't need, like, my listeners to apologise, because God, if you feel all the listeners, you know, I don't need my viewers to apologise, because you're the ones that are tuned in watching this. You know, I just wanted to apologise if I wasn't quite as engaging as you would expect me to be. Resident SD says, make sure you check today's Sonic Hurdle. Okay. A wedding in the Carolinas down south. About an 8-hour car ride. Carolinas. I've been 2009 when I went to Las Vegas. Let's say it's very timely. Okay. Crystal Egg Zone. I've actually had that stuck in my head quite a few days since Saturday Night Sega. And this last Saturday when we sort of figured out the ice cap from Sonic Origins does sound a little bit like Crystal Egg Zone, and Mina can hear it as well, and she doesn't listen to Sonic music, so if she can hear it, I'm definitely right on that one. Nobody else agrees with me in the Radio Sega chat at the time, so yeah. Guessed it. Oh. I think that's the first time I managed to guess the Sonic Hurdle. Well, I see you say I've already guessed it. It's one or the other. Going back to the K-Dog conversation, just very briefly. So in 2009 I went to Las Vegas. And For the life of me, I can't remember what airport I flew from. But I ended up in Charlotte, which is North Carolina. And it was supposed to be a connecting flight. So, you know, get off one flight and get straight on another one. But as it happened, there was a delay getting onto our original flight. And our luggage got on the next flight, but we didn't. So the US Airlines, United Airlines, sorry, who I flew with, they had to put us up in the Renaissance Hotel. I don't know if it's still there, because, you know, 2009. But yeah, they had to put us up in the Renaissance Hotel for a night and, like, give us spending money on food. Because, you know, where was my wallet? In the suitcase. Because, you know, I didn't want to carry money with me. Oh, why'd you do that? I was doing so well. Oh. Thanks for your help. Thanks for your help in me getting it. But yeah, no. So we had to spend a night in the Renaissance Hotel. They gave us some food vouchers, and they basically said, yeah, in the morning, you know, tell the front desk, when you're coming, they'll order you a taxi, and you'll make your way straight here. You know, straight back to the airport, get on a flight, and then we found our luggage in the Lost and Found. But, oh, I mean, the room itself was, oh my god. I've never been in a room like it. Right, I'm leaving this here. We've come up to 2 hours. I'm not getting past that room. I'm just going to constantly die. So I'm going to leave it here. I will we'll attack it again in a couple of weeks. Oh look, I can fill my health. I'm pointing at the TV, no one can see it. I can fill my health, I just need to find 4 crystal shards, like green crystals. SD says apparently Man United have signed Anthony. That's a bad signing as my dad is shit at football. So am I. Thank you so much for stream, says K-Dog. Ah, you're welcome. And, you know, for everyone who has tuned in, or return to title screen, or progress saved. Yes. For anybody who is sort of been lurking or whatever else, then, you know, thank you for watching. As I say, next week, because it is the anniversary of Mum's passing next Tuesday, I talk about it quite openly, so don't be like, oh, it's a bit morbid on stream. You know, it's been 8 years, I talk about it quite openly. But I kind of feel playing Death's Door on that day is not the most appropriate of games, let's be honest. So next week, we're going to go back to Sonic Origins on the PlayStation. We'll play something a little bit more lighthearted, so I do hopefully you can join in for that. If you do quite enjoy watching Death's Door, and you don't want to watch me play Sonic, that's cool. You don't have to watch the content every week, but we'll pick this back up in 2 weeks' time. Friday streams are still on a hiatus. There is no Friday stream this week. There was supposed to be a Friday stream next week, but I've been roped into work to help them with a data merge thing that's happening. I don't have to wear a work uniform for it, and I am getting paid, so it's a win-win on my behalf. But it does mean that the Shenmue 3 streams are being pushed back another week. So that's now going to be the 16th of September, I think, when we get back on that. I'm probably going to need to watch my last stream back just to get an idea of whereabouts in the game I am. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Enjoy your week. And yeah, I'll see you all on Saturday for Saturday Night Sega, where we're going to be doing a request roulette. And that's on Radio Sega, radiosega.net for that. If you want to watch Twitch again, then it'll be next Tuesday, playing Sonic Origins. Cheers!